Let's bring in Andreas Umland, who is an analyst over at the Stockholm Centre for Eastern European Studies. He joins me now from Kiev. Andreas, sorry for the title there. It is good to have you on the show. All right. Besides the whole optics of this, from a practical standpoint, what does Russia's presidency at the UN Security Council actually mean?
Well, my colleague Anton Cherhovtsov has called it a fool's state joke in the most literal sense, that on 1st of April now Russia has taken over this role. Practically, I don't think it will mean much, but symbolically, it's of course very bad that Russia is now chairing this organ, which was once created exactly to prevent what is now happening, namely that countries simply extend their territories and that they commit genocide, and that's now making the organ of the Security Council ridiculous.
So I would assume that if you have the United States, the UK, and France on board in terms of the permanent members, and you get about 4 or 5 from the rotating ones to not show up at any of these sessions, this could essentially mean that Russia's presidency could be rendered pointless. Is that a fair point?
Yes, that could mean it. I mean, I don't think it will mean that much in any way, because there will be no resolutions passed that Russia would like. Not only the Western countries like Britain, France, and the US are against these annexations in mainland Ukraine and the annexation of Crimea. And not only the Western countries are against these genocidal aspects of Russia's war, but also other countries of the world have voted repeatedly in the General Assembly against that. So I don't think it will mean that much in terms of the practical work of the UN Security Council. I assume it to be largely dormant then for the time that Russia will be chairing it.
Andreas, in all fairness, I need to ask you this. I mean, at a time like this, people are often calling for reform at the United Nations. But, you know, the last time when a permanent member of the Security Council carried out an unprovoked invasion was that of the U.S. attack on Iraq. But this is getting a whole different set of attentions for different reasons, though.
Well, I'm glad you're asking that, because the point here is not that there were no wars since 1945, since the creation of the United Nations. But what is different in this war that Russia is conducting, that it's actually doing it for extending its territory. It's not just for humanitarian intervention, as Russia has sometimes claimed. It's just to increase its territory, although Russia is already the largest country in the world, and that has not been done by the US in Iraq and elsewhere. These were all invasions that the US usually conducted against countries that had already started wars and that were then, in a way, punished by these interventions. Ukraine has not started any wars, and Ukraine is now losing its territory to a permanent member of the Security Council, and this permanent member of the Security Council is conducting a genocide that people already compare with Nazi policies in the same Ukraine in which Russia is now conducting its genocide.
Okay. Andreas Umland from the Stockholm Centre for Eastern European Studies, thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate your analysis. Thank you.